Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to a new week and a new month. June. Uh, Heat and storms. Gotta love them. Possibility of a tornado watch later today for me. So, well, it is later today. Storms are just starting to move in. Sorry for the delay getting the stream going. I was fighting with my generator, making sure it was ready to run just in case. So if the power does go out and the stream ends, give me like 10-15 minutes, get everything booted back up, and I'll be back. So don't go away, just hold on. Freezing where you're at? It is 78 in my room right now. um oh, I forgot to show you guys something yesterday. I was a bit distracted with the temper tantrums thrown in chat. I apologize about that, but I will get that out. So I got a package from Cars for Ukraine yesterday. And let me grab the... Oh, I did not save it here, so yeah, don't want to show off conversations. But here's the picture. And in the interest of doing this live, because I want to show it off, let's go full cam. And first things first is I got a shirt from Cars for Ukraine. And on the back, and for the sleeve, see if I can straighten this out enough to show the... So, unfortunately for me, and possibly fortunately for you, it's a little small for me. It is a 2X. So I've been tossing around the idea of either raffling off the shirt or auctioning. Come on, words, talk. Auctioning it off to donate that money to Cars for Ukraine in the summer campaign coming up. Anyways, continuing on, a nice postcard. Dear Canty, thank you for your support. Your contribution to Ukraine's victory is priceless. Cars for Ukraine team. And of course, I had to get the Ukrainian Trident heart on fire because, well, the heart. A couple other things here. They gave me the Easter Pasanki patch, as well as the Cars for Ukraine patch. And last, but definitely not least, the Trident, and then Cars for Ukraine flag that will soon be up on one of my walls. I don't know, I might end up taking this with me on the trip to Ukraine, and if I get the chance to visit Ivan, get some more signatures on it or something. I don't know. That is what I got from Cars for Ukraine. So, what do you folks think? I'd love to hear more from you. Okay, your guys are still on weather. Yeah, I am very, very happy with what I got. That it's amazing, and I thank them so much for the gifts and, well, definitely providing the opportunity to support the units in Ukraine. Moving on, let's get into the after action report from Ukraine for June 1st, coming out on June 2nd at 8:03 a.m. Ukraine time. As always, the report starts with glory to Ukraine. Shit, yeah, I am on top chat. Hold on. Oh, since I'm dealing with chat, might as well go through and say hello to everybody. Nura, Adam, Gato, welcome to the stream. Oh, Nura, sorry you're going for that thing. Not a fun thing. Linda H, welcome, welcome, welcome. Saw you guys were talking about spiders and bees and snakes. Sweater weather, 4 hours north. Sorry to hear that, LJ. That storm's just heading this way. See temperatures to plummet tomorrow. Oh, supposed to get down to 47 tonight. Yikes. Gorgeous patch. Auction the shirt. Auction the shirt. That's weird, Linda H. Two slackers. That's probably trolls sitting there waiting for their opportunity to attack. So I think I am caught up with everybody except LJ. Welcome as well. Sorry if I missed anybody. The 1195th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. In total, 146 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. Yesterday, the enemy launched 5 missile strikes and 66 airstrikes on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements. They used 8 missiles in those strikes, as well as 115 guided bombs in the 66 airstrikes. In addition, Russia carried out 5,854 artillery attacks, 104 of which were from multiple launch rocket systems. They also engaged 3,634 kamikaze drones to cause destruction. The aggressor carried out airstrikes near the settlements of Borova, uh, veterinarian, veter, veterinarian, Nari. Not sure of the pronunciation of the ending there. Anyways, that was Kharkiv region, Mirnograd, Suky Yar, Pokrovsk, Alexandro Kalanova, Volo Dmitrivka, Konstantinivka in Donetsk, Zalaznichny. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. Ternuvetje, Novo Yavkolivka in Zaporizhia, Olehivsky, Kozatsky in Kherson. And that is all the towns listed. Yesterday, aviation, missile, and artillery forces of Ukraine struck 13 areas of concentration of enemy personnel, weapons, and equipment, 2 UAV control points, 7 artillery pieces, and an enemy electronic warfare station. Moving into the individual directions. Okay, sorry, Tree Sapa. My dyslexia kicked in, and my mind read that as Tree Spa. I don't know why, but welcome and hello. Moving into the Kharkiv direction. 3 combat clashes took place near the settlement of Figolivka, I might have to look this one up because I don't think Figolivka is in the normal or in the already occupied areas. Just double checking. Hibloki, coming over towards Kupiansk, Krasny Pershi. Figolivka is actually right here. Okay, so just to the south of Krasny Pershny. Heading further south to Kupiansk. 10 attacks by the invaders were recorded in the Kupiansk direction. The defense forces repelled the enemy assaults in the areas of the settlements of Stepova. Oh, I got that backwards. That's funny. Keeping BB busy behind the scenes. Sorry she's not in chat. Uh, oh, you're watching the giraffe stream as well. That's good to know. Very cool thing. Anyways, where was I? Stepova Novoselika is right here, and Nova Kruglivka for the directions of the attacks in Kupiansk direction. In the Liman direction, just to the south, Liman, Izium, and Kupiansk is up here. The enemy attacked 20 times, trying to advance in the areas of the settlements of Grivkivka, Novomykolaivka, Nadia. You have to zoom in for Nadia. It's such a small town. Coming back to the south to Rikobub and Yampolivka. Heading further to the south to Servisk The enemy attacked the positions of our troops 8 times in the areas of Bilogorivka, Vrkno-Kamiansky, and towards Girogorivka. Heading a bit to the west to Kramatorsk direction, Slovansk, Kramatorsk, Konstantinivka, and of course Chasiv Yar. Let me scroll up a bit here. The defense forces repelled 5 enemy assaults in the areas of Chasiv Yar itself, and zooming way in to the town of Bilogora. Heading further to the south to Toretsk, where the enemy carried out 11 attacks in the areas of the settlements of Toretsk and Divlivka. Scooching over to the largest and one of the most active areas for the last almost 2 years now, across direction. Our defenders stopped 47 attacks of the aggressor in the areas of the settlements of Popiv Yar, Mirolubivka, Malanivka, Lisivka, Udashny, Novoserhivka, Novomykolaivka, and Andrivka down here by Constantinople. In the Novopavlivka direction, the defense forces repelled 14 enemy assaults in the areas of, let me zoom in here, Novosilka, Zeleny Pol, Novopil, Volynipol, Bogatar, Constantinople next to Andrivka, and Odradny. Skipping over Guliopol and heading over to Orhiv. In the Orhiv direction near Stepova, the invaders carried out 2 futile attacks on the positions of our defenders. And skipping over Perniprovsky and Herzon area, going north to Sumy and Kursk area. 19 clashes took place in this area. The enemy carried out 215 artillery strikes. 6 of those were from MLRSs. 10 airstrikes were launched, dropping 28 guided aerial bombs. Again, no clashes were recorded in Guliopil or the Perniprovsky directions yesterday. There still is no sign of enemy formations in the Volyn or Polizia directions. Our soldiers continue to inflict significant losses in manpower and equipment on the occupation forces and actively undermine the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. Pete's Pond. Oh, cool. Anyways, keeping on with the report, it goes into the losses. We'll cover that with the graphic here shortly. And of course, we end the report with join the defense forces, Razom Peremožemo, Slava Ukraina. Pulling up the photo of the loss report. Total combat losses of the enemy, June 2nd, 2025, Today, Russia lost 1,140 personnel killed and wounded, bringing the total to 989,700. 10,300 personnel away from 1 million mark. I think I might be like 2 to 3 days late for my prediction of the 13th. That's about 8 days, going by the average numbers for the last, few months. About 8 more days, so that we're looking the 10th maybe. We'll soon to get there. 2 more tanks were blown up today. 7 more armored personnel vehicles. 48 artillery systems. 2 anti-aircraft warfare systems. 256 UAVs. 3 cruise missiles. 137 vehicles. And 2 special equipment. Oh yeah, but maybe sooner, but it's roughly going to be around the 10th, I think. Maybe the 9th, if there's a big push by Russia. We may see that number of losses per day jump. So, or if Russia calms down their attacks, this number will drop. So it's my name's not Nostradamus. I cannot predict the future. Guliopol was where Nestor Machino was from. Okay, you'll have to explain to me who Nestor Machino is, Tree Sapper. I love the name, by the way. Taking a look at the air raid map, Donetsk has been under air alert for 7 hours, 19 minutes. Slovansk, reports of explosions 3 hours, 26 minutes ago. Kramatorsk, 5 hours, 46 minutes ago. And again, Slovansk, 6 hours, 43 minutes ago. Just a small portion of Dnipro is under air alert due to artillery. That alert has been going on for 3 hours, 54 minutes. And Sumy under air alert for 7 hours, 35 minutes. Shosky City, explosions reported 3 hours, 20 minutes ago. If you zoom in towards Sumy, I'm not sure where Shosky is. Let's see if we could find it. Konotop. Shoiska. Okay, it's up here close to the border with Chernihiv Oblast. So right here is the border between Sumy and Chernihiv. Shostka is right there. Moving on and jumping to I never heard him called that name before. So Nestor Mashno was Ukrainian. Good to know. Anyways, moving to Telegram and Zelensky's channel. A lot of meetings today with NATO, EU, preparations for the G7 summit, meetings with Latvia, and I forgot the other one, Polish President Andrzej Duda. More meetings, and more meetings. Um, this guy's gonna Zelensky's gonna end up with tennis elbow from shaking all these hands. Good thing is Ukraine has very good medical. Unfortunately, there is no address for tonight. A half-hour long recording of the speech he did give today. We're not going to do a half hour of, Zelensky speaking Ukrainian. If it was voiced over in English, we would. And if I could translate better, I would do the voiceover, but I cannot. Yet. So, hopping right into Canty Center and the videos for today, give you a bit of a preview as I scroll back to the beginning of the day, and unfortunately there is a ton to go through. Continuations of yesterday, the drone attacks, the normal videos from the front lines, the reports and flyovers of some of the airfields and other areas. A lot to go over today. And here we are at the beginning of the day with the drone report from last night. 80 UAVs were launched, 52 were disabled. The enemy attacked with 84 air attack vehicles, 80 Shahed type drones, 3 Iskander ballistic missiles, 1 Iskander cruise missile. The main areas of the airstrikes were Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Donetsk, and Kherson regions. The enemy airstrikes were recorded in 12 total locations. And this image has been coming around a bit today. At least 13 Russian aircraft destroyed and even more damaged in the swamps, head of the Central Military District. But Troy can no longer claim the Trojan horse. Technically it'd be the Ukrainian Dasha. We'll get into that one later. But I just thought it was a cool image and wanted to share it with you. Ukrainian Armed Forces put together a compilation of the videos yesterday. I hope you enjoy. It's pretty well put together. I liked it. Here you go. Let me slow it down. Go back to the beginning. And full screen. Yeah, but it's still called the Trojan horse for dark. Wait, that means I should call it the Russian Dacha. So I hope you liked the video. Some of the information that has come out is in total 41 aircraft were destroyed, including an A-50, Tu-95, Tu-22, and a Tu-160. The destruction of enemy bombers is a task set before us by the President of Ukraine. Supreme Commander-in-Chief Volodymyr Zelensky. He personally supervised the progress of the special operation, which was prepared by the security services. The enemy bombed our state almost every night from these planes, and today he felt it in reality that retribution was inevitable. The head of the SBU added that this concerns the impact of 34%, not 43%, dang it, of strategic cruise missile carriers in the main airfields of the Russian Federation. Over a third of Russia's launch capabilities were taken out because of this strike. It was not just a devastating blow to the enemy aviation, but a serious slap in the face of the power and terrorist essence of the Russian Federation. The kid also confirmed the information that first the SBU transported FPV drones to Russia, later wooden mobile houses already in the territory of the Russian Federation. The drones were hidden under the roofs of those houses, placed on trucks, and at the right moment, the roofs of the houses were remotely opened, and the drones flew to hit the designated target, the Russian bombers. The estimated cost of the enemy's damaged aircraft is over $7 billion. Cannot say enough how freaking great that is in my mind. Yeah, I know they were built with a lot of material from Ukraine. Russia used to get its titanium from Ukraine and process it in Russia to build planes not only for Russian aircraft manufacturers, but also what's the one in Boeing, or not Boeing? Crap, I can't remember the EU or the plane manufacturer. Dang it. I haven't seen any, Steve. Not yet, anyways. They're probably lurking. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but Sam, capital SAM, is magically taking a piss out of the younger generation. The Cossack in the Su-27 performed the task of covering the strike group, performed competently, the first confirmed target for the small, I'm not the emoji person. You tell me what that emoji means. But apparently this was the pilot's first confirmed kill, and we all get to share in watching it. And in the back, you see the chicken farms, or one of the chicken farms, I should say. Now, I'm going to be a little bit of a stinker. Come down here to Pokrovsk. Go to the satellite imagery. And they were all on one side. Back the image up. So let me just double check and make sure. So it looked like two shorter buildings and then the rest were longer. Two shorter buildings, rest longer. Wrong one. Two shorter buildings, rest longer. Right there. Town. Wrong one. So yeah, I think it could have been this chicken farm in the background. There's the town. So that strike happened in this general area. If I spent more time, I'm sure I could pin it down. But that's for something to be done behind the scenes. Moving on. Major fire broke out at a paint and varnish factory in Leningrad. Inside the plant, 500 tons of flammable substances. Well,
Пигмент завод. Буквально минуту назад серия взрывов. Вот. И пожар.
another smoking accident by Russians. You know, maybe Russia needs to look at a ashtray factory. Hey, David N. Airbus. Thank you, Dark Arts. Airbus.
Хотела поехать в бассейн, вышла на верхний, нафиг, поеду.
Anton, sorry to hear that. You should check out Pi. If you can, message me on Discord really quick. I'll send you a different link. Three bikers drove into the landing zone and burned down. The tank rushed towards Ukrainian positions and did not reach it. The pilots of the Phoenix unit are working. There. I'll take any excuse, Tree Sappa, to show you a bit of Ukraine. So there is the video from Phoenix Group. Maps. Dox myself a little bit there. Come over to Ukraine. And if you're a logger, you know what that is. All throughout this strip here, Very managed forests. All throughout here. This area is set aside for a natural preserve, but up here, and everything's laid out nicely in a grid, so you're not doing weird cuts up the mountain. And that's just around Kiev. You go over towards the west and you run into similar situations, not as intensively done, smaller plots. So this area is all forested, this area is all forested, this area is all forested. You come down to the Carpathians, and there's areas in here that are forested, mostly towards the foothills. So yeah, there's a huge forestry industry in Ukraine. Yeah, I do too. And just to give you an idea of what some of these operations might look like. Very Seattle-esque countryside, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's go to one of the areas where it's more heavily done, especially around Kiev. So very managed. I wouldn't say well managed. There's arguments almost every year. You cut down my trees, you need to pay me for those trees, blah 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 blah. Normal business stuff with forestry industry. But then they'll go through and they'll replant this, let it grow for many more years. Once this area is established, they'll cut the next strip and then the next strip. These areas are set aside specifically for forestry and management. Meanwhile, while the trees are growing, Ukrainian citizens go out and mushroom hunt in these forests. Just be careful if they try to send you in the forests around Kiev. A lot of these forests here have been mined. Russia, thank you very much. We all know the asshat from Russian television. Asked to be able to shoot the conscript who recorded the video of the burning planes. This guy. Asking them to bring that conscript here. Why can't I shoot him? Because we don't do that stuff. We're human. Meanwhile, this is the video he's talking about. So he wants to shoot a guy over a 5-second video clip.
Тут пизда, тут пизда.
Such is Russia. Ukraine officially handed over to the Russian side a list of Ukrainian children who need to be returned. The list was about 400 names long. We'll get more into this later. We're talking about hundreds of children who Russia has illegally deported, forcibly relocated, or is holding in temporarily occupied territories. More on that coming later as we get into the talks in Turkey. I don't know what they're talking about in Turkey, but it sure wasn't Turkey. Russian armored personnel carrier after salutes. Nura asks how much of the forest are mined at this point. It's a hard question to answer. So a lot of these places are mined by remote. They send a missile over the area, and at the designated time, it releases the mines. And a place that has been swept can be remined with one missile. Buffering. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's getting a little noisy outside. So, like I can tell you right now, when I drove down, well, I did not drive, but when I rode in the vehicle down this road, there were signs all along it, do not enter, possible mines, and you saw teams out here working. I know by now a year and a couple months later, they've probably cleared out this area at least 3 or 4 different times. But all it takes is one missile sent by Russia to relay mines. Let's see if I can find those. So, I mean, this should tell you a little bit of the story here. Each one of these white pieces is a Russian mine deployer. And this was in December of 2022. Okay, again, not showing the video or the image that they are previewing. Let's try this place. So there's just one small part of the missile graveyard. A wider picture of it. And like I said, this was 2022. Here we are a couple years later, and there is multiples of these sites. And again, like every white piece you see here is a rack of about 50 or so mines that did get dropped by a single shell, maybe more. I'm not entirely sure on those numbers. So teams are working, mines are being cleared, Russia sends more, those get cleared, Russia sends more. And unfortunately, until this war is over, that's going to be the vicious cycle. There's estimates that it's going to take upwards of 70 years to be able to clear all the mines out of Ukraine at this point. So if you want job security, there you go. You'll be employed for the next 70 years if you want to be. Anyways, getting the air raid map back up, and Telegram. Oh, Sumi came off of error alert. That's good. Just watched that one, and I wanted to show you guys this one. This is Cossacks from the Operational Brigade Rubizia, thanking the subscribers of Operational Armed Forces of Ukraine for the donated car. A while back, I was 3D printing, Ukrainian tridents, cell phone holders, stuff like that, and taking donations. Those donations went to 2 cars that were being fundraised on this Telegram channel, Operational ZCU. This is the second car that we donated towards. You guys donated towards. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about the choppiness. Anyways, here's the video of the second car you guys helped fundraise on Operational ZCU.
Хочу подякувати усіх підписників оперативних ЗСУ за допомогу у зборі на автомобіль для нашого підрозділу. Велика дяка. Слава Україні!
And of course, Heroem Slava. Sorry, I'm trying to look at things in the background too, trying to adjust audio settings, see if I could clear things up. See how it goes. Just that one. Let's get back to OBS. Testing 1 2. Testing. Let's see if that helps with the clear up the sound a little bit for you folks. LiDAR is useful, so are heat signatures detected by thermal imaging. Yeah. The crew of the Shadow Unit Shark discovered the Russian Zaitsev electronic warfare system. Friendly forces inflicted fire damage using heavy bombers. Additional hit a car with a bomb and 2 police cars. Oh. Still trying to figure out what that shadow is right here. I'm guessing that was the shadow of the drone dropping the bomblets on the vehicles. Okay, I'll cut the camera to see if maybe having the camera off frees up a little more space, help the audio get better. But Russia says they have rebuilt Mariupol. Here is a helicopter flying over Mariupol, showing what it looks like. I believe this was last week sometime. Hope you enjoy. I apologize about the dead air. I had to drop off a gremlin at the Kremlin. Yes, this is Mariupol. Occupied Mariupol, Azovstal. This is the city, and there is the Azovstal steel plant. But you see buildings still destroyed, coming into the steel plant. You know, holes still in the roof, destroyed, collapsed buildings, roof sections still laying all over the place. Yeah. But Russia says they've rebuilt and restored Mariupol. The train yard. And coming to the far end of Azovstal, you see the foundries where they produce the iron and steel. Still in major disarray. The loading bays for the ore. Yeah, so if you ever, you know, the trolls love to say that, oh, Russia's rebuilt Mariupol. There's a Russian flying in a helicopter over Mariupol showing you that that is not true. Satellite images have come out from one of the air bases in Russia that was hit overnight or yesterday. Showing several damages. There's a bunch of satellite imagery coming out, completely burned down, only a wing left. possible damaged one. You see the tips of the wings left on this one. Hopefully we'll get some better resolution images, but we all know
здесь беспечность и покой. Там последний смертный бой. Танцы.
And I was discussing this on Discord with a couple other people of like the expected results. LJ, if you're not paying attention, pay attention, because this is what it looks like in Russia near the airfields today.
Короче, поселок Срейни, там что-то перекрыли дорогу. Мы сейчас ехали практически по полям, реально прям скакали. Выехали опять на асфальт. Тут просто огроменная пробка из фур. Я не знаю, сколько это уже 30 километров. Короче, жесть. Те, кто планирует ехать в Иркутск, я даже не знаю, выезжайте прям очень-очень сильно заранее. Дальше дорогу уже немножко почистили, фуры поставили просто в сторону.
Every semi is being stopped, checked, inspected. Basically bringing logistics inside Russia to a standstill. Meanwhile, Ukraine is fortifying their anti-tank ditches. The Russians' need for speed on, I believe the translation is loaves of bread. I mean, that was almost a perfect pit maneuver. So you see the trailing loaf come from behind, clip the back tire, sending the other loaf into a spin. They just needed to take a break under the shade of the tree. More of the traffic jams going on in Russia. You see, as the sun is setting, trucks are still stuck on the side of the road waiting for inspection and clearance to continue travel. Yeah, well, if you don't come here with the cookies, what do you expect, LJ? You gotta bribe people to do stuff. Zelensky is issuing an interesting suggestion to the Western world. Ask your intelligence what Russia is preparing this summer for the territory of Belarus. Europe needs to prepare now. Not telling you what's happening, not saying we know what's going to happen. your intelligence knows. Ask them. Hey there, Gobi. Meanwhile, Britain got the message and is moving into war readiness mode. He announced that the country must be ready for modern war given the threat from Russia and the experience of Ukraine. The defense strategy includes the creation of up to 12 submarines, an additional investment of £15 billion in nuclear warheads, construction of 6 ammunition factories, stockpile of 7,000 missiles, and the formation of cyber warfare troops. British government plans a gradual increase in defense budget to 2.5% of GDP by 2027. The document also mentions the desire to increase spending to 3% of GDP, although no specific commitments have been recorded yet from Britain. I will tell you, Latvia also announced today that they are increasing their military budget to 4% of GDP. But keeping things going, over the past week, the unmanned systems of the 11th Brigade in Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Donetsk regions carried out 400 fire hits on Russians and their combat positions. That'd be on par. LG Telku. Yeah, with that amount of trucks to search through, they're gonna need something like that to if they want to keep logistics moving. And literally, Ukraine made. Never mind. I got pictures of it later. I want to cover it later when I have the pictures in front of me. St. Petersburg. No explanation of what is on fire, but this is a paint and varnish company that is on fire. Hopefully that smoke will dissipate before it gets here. We're getting enough smoke where I'm at from the forest fires in Canada. More videos of that paint and varnish factory in St. Petersburg. Okay, Gobi, the one I'm waiting for that nobody's done, and maybe I should do it. Oh, I have to think about that. Let's just say it involves the Fifth Element and a saying from there and an FPV drone hitting a Lada. Big Lada boom. A spectacular video report of the combat work of the 93rd separate mechanized brigade in May. No, I don't think a lot of would need multiple passes, just one. Freaking Goldie coming up with that as I'm saying it. And of course the delay. Dang it. I think I might be back. Are we back? We're back. I closed stuff out while I was checking on stuff, but that's an easy fix. Let's get the air alert map back up for the background. Zaporizhia getting an air alert 18 minutes ago. And let's get Telegram back and continue from where we left off. Today, during the negotiations in Istanbul, Ukrainian side officially handed over to the Russian side a list of Ukrainian children needed to be returned. There are hundreds of children who Russia has illegally deported, forcibly relocated, or is holding in temporarily occupied territories. Back in March, we confirmed our readiness for 30-day ceasefire with humanitarian components. Ukraine and Russia have agreed to exchange all seriously ill prisoners of war and persons under the age of 25. Details are being worked out on that. They also agreed to return fallen soldiers from each side, 6,000 for 6,000. Russia offered to return 10 children by July 10th. This is after Ukraine giving them a list of 400 children to return. Russia offers 10. Official data and proven number of children abducted is more than 20,000. Unofficially and unable to provide proof is expected much higher, unfortunately. The new prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine will include between 1,000 and 1,200 people. Again, details have not been fully worked out, but they are working on another large exchange of POWs. Russian media published their memorandum finally, which they handed over to Ukrainian at the talks in Istanbul, supposedly. Complete withdrawal of the armed forces of Ukraine from DPR, LPR, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, including Donbass and Novorossiya, must be carried out within 30 days of the ceasefire. International recognition of Crimea, Donbass, and Novorossiya as part of Russia. Neutrality of Ukraine. Holding elections in Ukraine, followed by the signing of a peace treaty. ban on the redeployment of armed forces of Ukraine, with the exception of movements for withdrawals of troops. Ban on the reception and deployment of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Ban on the supply of Western weapons and intelligence. Waiver of mutual claims in connection with the damage caused in hostilities. So basically, Russia says, give us everything, we'll give you nothing. Yeah, that's Russia for you. We gave Russia a list of almost 400 deported children. They promised to return up to 10. The Russian proposal for a ceasefire for 2 or 3 days is just a rhetorical game. Commanders are already exchanging bodies of dead soldiers on the battlefield, said Zelensky. We already watched that one. So delete. Zelensky, the issue with exchanging the bodies of dead soldiers need to be thoroughly looked into, because as we learned, only 15% of those 6,000 have been identified by Russia. And in a previous exchange, the Russians handed over their own dead soldiers to Ukraine, saying they were Ukrainian. Total destruction of Russian command and observation posts in the Donetsk region by the 412th unmanned systems. Yeah, some of those drones have up to 6 bombs, pre-Sapa. Video of today's deliberate and targeted strike by Russian FPV drone on a high-rise building in Nikopol. This is essentially right here, right across the old river, the old lake of the Dnipro.
Ну только что возле 14-этажки. Оно, видишь, летает?
So there's a drone coming in, not shot down, not even being fired at. Swoops in and decides to go in and hit the building.
Угу.
Yeah, this is why they did Operation Spiderweb, make Russians feel it. An explosion and a large fire occurred in a motor plant in the Novograd region of Russia. Again, maybe careless smoking.
Все горит, свет вообще чуть полыхает.
Remember to put your butts out.
Пацаны, ЗМЗ все, горим. Ебануться. Дымит прям люто, на Дзержинского уже попахивает даже. Въезд первый.
In Melitopol, and throughout Zaporizhia region, the power went out completely. It is also reported that sea drones were launched. No real videos I've been able to find yet, but some of the images of explosions at transformer stations. Again, another picture of the power station in Zaporizhia. It's estimated that 150 towns are without electricity and 44 key facilities are affected by the power outage. Wormwing fell on the Kunar River, minus 133 enemy wings from Team Topota from, Magyar. Here is Magyar's video. Oh yeah, they're mad.
Ворожі БПЛА у кадрі – це ланцети. Хробачі баражуючі боєприпаси, що залітають до 40 кілометрів глибини нашої території і крепко пакостять, атакуючи техніку, артилерію чи інші суттєві цілі. Спеціальний окремий підрозділ птахів Мадяра, команда Топота, окрім іншого, опікуються саме переслідуванням та знищенням таких ворожих крил, а також чистять небо від огроменного переліку ворожих розвідувальних крил, коригувальників, літаючих ретрансляторів, крил бомбардувальників та крил камікадзе. Уся ця нечисть, орлани, зали, гербери, скати та суперками, форпости та мерліни, молнії та альбатроси – це хробачі очі, що залітають в залежності від технічних характеристик на 100 і більше кілометрів вглиб наших тилів, вишуковують цілі, наводять вогонь арти та ракети. Недавній ракетний обстріл 239-го полігону, наприклад, коригувався саме крилами-розвідниками. тому їх знищення завдання не менш пріоритетне, ніж пошук та зачистка ворожих пілотів та точок виліту їх дронів. Це дороговартісні засоби, їх виробництво трудоємке, тому їх кількість не така, як, до прикладу, звичайних FPV, котрих ворог з однієї позиції може харкнути і 20, і 40 штук за одну зміну, що не підміняє потреби цілодобового моніторингу повітря та знищення усього, що летить у наш бік. З цією метою і працюють спецптахи. Команда топота на винищувачах та команда троля на комплексах виявлення, щоб небо було чисте, нарощуючи результати від місяця до місяця. У звіті за квітень ви бачили наш кращий результат – 96 знищених крил ворога. У травні, що минув, птахи покращили свій минулий рекорд відразу на 78%. 171 крило уражено, 146 з котрих знищено.
That's
До
kind
речі,
of scary thought,
133
you
з
know,
них
they
знищено
exist.
у травні саме на КНР. От то скиглення хробачого ми начиталися у доступних джерелах. Підари писали, що 140 розрахунків птахів Мадяра працюють у небі КНР, що злітити нічого не може і так далі, тому подібне. Хробачня, коли у птахів Мадяра буде 140 розрахунків саме винищувачів, жодна ваша короста розвідпташка смуги фронту не перетне. Тому не перебільшуйте в десятки разів. Працює рота топота птахів Мадяра. Але у мене для вас, хробачня, хуйова новина. Скоро та рота перетрансформується у батальйон. Тоді й потанцюємо. Вітаю команду. Такого результату протягом місяця на конкретній ділянці ще жоден підрозділ у світі не досягав. Стосується знищення саме розвідкрил ворога. Не путати зі знищенням ворожих FPV чи шахедів. FPV ми лупимо тисячами щомісяця, хоч вони у програмі верифікації участі не приймають. Протягом травня силами команди РЕП та РЕР 414-ї окремої бригади виявлено 2379 FPV-дронів. 1664 з них знищено, що складає 70%. 70 не 100, але це 7 з 10 FPV-дронів не долітають до цілей. Такий от окремий повітряний дрономахач, у котрий ми занурилися ще влітку 23-го року на урожайці і вже давно вийшли на промислові об'єми. Тихо та спокійно і усім притомним. Очі та жало, хробачий жах.
Well, good to have Marupople back doing the updates for his birds. It's kind of interesting though that Marupole's been missing for a few days, and the day after the largest drone strike in Russia ever, he's back. I wonder why. Video from 3rd Assault Brigade. A Russian column marched straight into hell. Video of Troika's art and drone work. Fighters from 3rd Assault Brigade recorded moving in a column to storm our positions. First covered the occupiers with artillery, and the remnants of those that took shelter were tracked down and finished off by our FPVs. Well, 3rd Assault continuing to work in Ukraine. I have not, Linda H. I'm sure that will come up eventually. Oh, that was the video from Third Assault. And moving over to Omega Unit, giving us a nice video of their operations throughout May. Fighters from the Omega Special Operations Center perform combat missions on the hottest front lines. Special forces use all modern available methods to destroy the enemy. 194 occupants, 202 wounded, 2 tanks damaged, 10 units of automobiles, 5 artillery systems, 11 artillery damaged, 7 mortars, 1 MLRS, 1 EW, 34 enemy positions, 161 damaged, 1 munitions warehouse destroyed, 2 damaged. Video shows a selection of the work of Omega Special Forces. Omega Group is a new channel I've been checking out, and they wanted to show off. Well, I'll let them say it. We want to share a video that contains the warmest emotions of the children of our special forces. For us, all these children are ours. These smiles are about joy, happiness, love, here and now, in this moment. Thank you, X Park, which always supports our ideas, and Omega Home, which creates the comfort of home. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start sharing their link in Telegram. If you want to check them out directly, they publish a lot more than what I show on here. Now just go to Canty Center and click there. You'll find their whole page. Their website's right here. And here's the video they wanted to share. So let's share. You know, nothing like a Ukrainian picnic spread to make you miss being in Ukraine. You know, at least they were given a day where they, at least one day where they could be kids, have some normalcy. They also shared some pictures of the event. Very cool seeing life continuing on as it should in Ukraine. That is all I have for you guys tonight. Had a little bit of fun in chat apparently with all the trolls. Of course, they have to pick, you know, when my internet died to come and harass. Oh, before we go, Volna Ukraina, you know, just posting videos from the soldiers themselves. No story behind it, just, you know, them being them. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it is just the one guy with a ton of accounts, and they are, well, being taken care of.
Я кохаю тебе більше, ніж вчора, але менше, ніж завтра. Де було твоя з'явиться мить. Я кохаю тебе більше, ніж вчора, але менше, ніж завтра. Стали серця одного частинами. І як життя нас кине на дистанцію, кохання наш зв'язок, ти маєш рацію. Я сам знайшов тобі, I don't lie to you, babe, I'm gonna fight for you, вона цього вартує. Бо таку, як ти, не знайду, ти промінь світла мою темряву. Як почуття це море, то я попливу, залишу на воді сліди попелу. Погляди знову говоритимуть без слів. Ти кохала як могла, я кохав як міг. Тоді я кожен день, для якого ти мішень, знову цілить тобі в спину і так хоче збити сніг.
Pretty cool song, I think. Let the sparks fly. Uh,
Мене тато українець, мама українка, а я дівчинка маленька, чарівна первинка, а я дівчинка маленька, чарівна первинка. Небо синє синє, поле золоте, і краси такої не знайдеш ніде.
let's see what this. Oh, heli. And loading.
Братан, це так чисто від душі, не заради хайпу для наших пацанів, для наших захисників. Слава ЗСУ.
Oh, I forgot the name of it, but I think this is the Ukrainian-made mobile artillery. Self-propelled artillery.
Дай моїй країні сил, тому хто в лавах збройних сил. Може чуєш мене, я твій син, бачив сон, був мій сон, там перемога. Хлопці всі живі, хлопці всі удома. Боже, прошу, дай моїй країні сил, тому хто в лавах збройних сил. Може чуєш мене, я твій син, бачив сон, був мій сон, там перемога. Хлопці всі живі, хлопці всі удома.
Дякую за увагу, всім гарного вечора.
That is all I have for you tonight. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night. Please remember to hit the like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And we get to kick around more trolls. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. More importantly, keep supporting Ukraine. And have a good night. Stay safe, everybody.